My name is Mark John Sternal, and you're watching Easy Lead Guitar DVD. This video is designed to give you the tools you'll need to play lead guitar anywhere on the fretboard. While I will be tossing in a few tricks and melodic patterns here and there, that is not the intended topic of this DVD. Instead, this course is designed to teach you what scales to use to play lead guitar over chords and progressions, and does so by introducing these scales all over the neck. While doing so, we are going to take an in-depth look at what works and what doesn't, and the reasoning behind it. We'll start out very basic and progress to intermediate and advanced lead guitar concepts. For my main guitar, I'll be playing my 1981 Fender, the Strat model. I'll be using the neck position, or neck pickup position, which some might consider uncommon for lead guitar. Most guitarists tend to use the bridge position for solos. But I've personally grown to like the unique sound I get from the neck pickup. It's a little noisy when notes aren't ringing out, so I'll try my best to remember to cut the volume back during descriptions. I'm using a very basic setup that you can achieve with basic pedals or a common amplifier that includes distortion and reverb. When playing lead guitar, the most important note for you to know is the root note. When playing lead guitar, the most important note for you to know is the root note. If you're playing over a chord, the root note would name the chord. So over an E chord, the root note would be an E note, which repeats itself up and down the neck. The root note also names the key of music. So in the key of E, the root note is E. For now, we will start out simple and only play over individual chords. This is for the sake of the beginner, so we can start easy, but also have a solid foundation for all of the other notes and scales we are going to mix in. As we progress, we'll be playing over multiple chords, as well as mixing in unconventional scales and modes. Overall, we'll be giving you the ability to play any and every note in any position on the fretboard over any given chord. Let's start out with the E5 power chord. This is simply the 6th string open, played along with the 5th string 2nd fret with the index finger. Just strum down on the 6th and 5th strings together to sound this chord. After holding the E5 chord for 4 beats, we are going to play the E root note in place of the chord for 4 beats. That's the 6th string open E by itself for counts 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of 4 beats, we're going to move to the next E, also known as the octave E on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Here I'm using my index finger, and play it for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we'll move to the 2nd string, 5th fret, which is another octave E note, and play it over 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for our first beginner exercise, we have 3 different E notes to play after the E5 power chord. Starting with the 6th string open E, then up 1 octave to the 4th string 2nd fret, then up another octave, 5th fret E note. Which, by the way, you can duplicate this E pitch on the 1st string open as well. The reason for learning these different E pitches is so you can easily move around the fretboard like a true lead guitarist. So trust me, as these lessons progress and you learn different scales, you will value the importance of knowing where the root notes are on the fretboard. Okay, so for our first exercise, let's play our E power chord and 3 octave E root notes over a drum track at a slow practice tempo. To play great lead guitar, it is important to know where your root notes are on all 6 strings. So far, we've learned the 6th string open E, 4th string 2nd fret octave E, and 2nd string 5th fret octave E, which also is duplicated on the 1st string open. From here, we move to the 5th string 7th fret for another E root note. The next octave E is on the 3rd string, 9th fret. And we'll wrap it up on the 1st string, 12th fret, octave E root note. Let's put this all together with a practice tempo. And now, for the sake of completion, let's play all of our E root notes from the low 6th string open, all the way up the neck, to the 1st string 12th fret E. Every note has an octave 12 frets up on the same string. So the 6th string open E also has an octave on the 6th string 12th fret. The next octave we have will be on the 4th string 14th fret. Then the octave E on the second string, 17th fret. The 5th string, octave E, is on the 19th fret. Then an octave on the 3rd string, 21st fret. And if you have a guitar equipped with 24 frets, you could play a high octave E on the 1st string, 24th fret. If your guitar only goes up to the 21st or 22nd fret, you can still achieve this note by bending the string up to the pitch of an E note. Just apply pressure to the string, and while holding the note, bend the string to match the pitch of an E. This is tricky if you're a beginner, so another technique is to play a harmonic just above an imaginary 24th fret. To achieve the harmonic technique, lightly touch the string above the fret wire, or in this case the imaginary fret wire, and you'll produce the pitch you're looking for. Here's a practice tempo for our octave positions. You might notice that I give fretted notes a little shake. This is a technique called vibrato, and I'm a very big fan of it because it gives a bit more life to single notes. If you would like to achieve this vibrato technique, just rotate your wrist back and forth while applying pressure to a note. In this next exercise, let's run through all of the E notes, but this time we'll play it at a slow, medium, and more challenging fast tempo for experienced viewers. Okay, we're going to cover a lot of ground on this DVD. Since it is a title in our Easy DVD series, I don't want to move too fast. This is for the sake of the beginner viewers. At this time, I want to introduce you to the minor third interval, starting with our 6-string open E root note. The minor third interval is 3 frets up the neck. Open 1, 2, 3. So we'll play the open 6-string E root note, then our minor third interval, which is the G note on the 6th string, 3rd fret, then back to our E root note. The count is going to be a little bit different this time. Play E for 1, 2, the minor third G note for 3, 4, then back to the E root note for 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we move up to our octave E on the 4th string, 2nd fret, then the minor third G, which is on the 4th string, 5th fret. If your fingers are long enough, you can stretch and play this with your ring finger. If not, you'll have to use your pinky. This might be a little tricky for beginner players, but to be a good lead guitarist, you really need to learn to use your pinky. So that's why I'm throwing this exercise at you early. If you're having trouble getting this note to ring out, make sure you're using proper finger placement by having your fingertip directly behind the fret wire. If you're too far back or right above the fret wire, it becomes difficult, especially for beginners, to get this note to sound. So keep things simple by placing your fingertips right behind the fret wire. Also, you'll notice that I'm keeping my finger placement with the root note even when I'm playing the minor third. This is to allow for a flowing transition between notes. Now let's move up to the 2nd string, 5th fret E, with our index finger, and play the minor third G note on the 8th fret with the ring or pinky finger. The count is 1, 2, 3, 4, then back to the E root note for 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our root to minor third exercise with a tempo. You may have already guessed that the 5th string root to minor third exercise would be E on the 7th fret to G on the 10th fret. However, there are always alternate ways to play things on guitar, especially lead guitar. So here, we're going to play the 5th string 7th fret root note with the ring finger, and the minor third G note on the 4th string 5th fret with the index finger. It's the same pitch or same note as the 5th string 10th fret G, but it's 5 frets down on the 4th string 5th fret. So we have E with the ring on the 5th string 7th fret to G on the 4th string 5th fret with the index. Then we'll go back to E, and the count will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is our octave E on the 3rd string, 9th fret. And of course we can play the minor third on the same string on the 12th fret. However, the alternate fingering is on the 2nd string, 8th fret. So for this position, we'll play the E root note on the 3rd string 9 with the middle finger, to the 2nd string 8 with the index, and the count will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up to the octave E on the 1st string 12, to G on 15, back to E on 12. By the way, when you get higher up the neck and the frets are closer together, it's definitely acceptable to use different fingering. For example, a lot of lead guitar players will play E with the index and G with the middle or second finger when they are up past the 12th fret. Use whatever works best for you. I personally use my ring finger most of the time, but I do tend to switch it out for different sounds that I want to achieve. Okay, here's our root to minor third with the tempo. Now let's put all of our positions together at a slow, medium, and fast exercise pace. Now we're going to be adding another tone to our scale. We have the root and the minor third. The next note will be the fourth, also known as the perfect fourth. Our root or key note is the E, 6th string open. Then the minor third is G, 6th string 3rd fret. And the fourth is A on the 5th string open. The count is 1, 2 for E, 3, 4 for G, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for A. Next, we move up to the 4th string, 2nd fret for E, up to the 5th fret for G, then the A note, or 4th interval, is on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, with the index finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to the next octave on the 2nd string, 5th fret, E, to G, Then the 1st string, 5th fret for A with the index finger. When we switch to the 5th string scale position, E is on the 7th fret, played with the ring finger, move to the 4th string, 5th fret G with the index, up to the 7th fret A with the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next octave E root note starts on the 3rd string, 9th fret with the middle finger this time, to the 2nd string, 8th fret G with the index, to the 2nd string, 10 for the A note with the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up to the high octave E on the 1st string, 12, to G on the 15, since we don't have any other strings to switch to, we'll move up to the 1st string, 17th fret to play the A note. You can stretch and play each note with a different finger. Or you can move your hand up the neck. I recommend practicing both ways. Here's our root to minor 3rd to 4th scale pattern with a tempo. Alright, for this beginner section of this title, we are at the midway point for learning our first scale. However, we've already managed to cover the entire neck of the guitar, which is very important for playing great lead guitar. The next interval we will learn is the 5th. In our open position, we have the root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th. The next note, the 5th interval, is on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Since our root note is E, we are playing an E scale, which is the same as saying we are playing in the key of E. The minor 3rd interval is G, our 4th interval is A, and the new note, the 5th interval, is B. We'll play each note for 1 beat, so with the 4 count, we play 1, 2, 3, 4. Then move up to the next octave on the 4th string 2nd fret to the 5th, then the 3rd string 2nd, and the B note or 5th interval on the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the 2nd string notes, E on the 5th fret, G on the 8th fret, to the 1st string A on the 5, and B on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's switch to the 5th string scale position with E on the 7th fret, played with the ring finger, which puts us in position to switch to the 4th string 5th fret G note with the index finger. 7th fret A with the ring, then move the ring finger up to the 4th string 9 for the B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting with the 3rd string E note on the 9th fret, to the 2nd string G on the 8th, A on the 10th, and ring finger up to B on the 12th. 1, 2, 3, 4. And On to the first string, we'll play E on the 12th, G on the 15th, A on the 17th, and B on the 19th fret. You can play this with different fingers or just move one finger around. That's the 12th, 15th, 17th, 19th. Here's our scale, root to fifth interval with a tempo. Complete the 5 notes that make up the pentatonic scale, we are adding the dominant 7th interval, which you can simply call the 7th interval or the minor 7th interval. In the key of E, the 7th is the D note. In the open position, we have the 6th string E root note to G, 5th string A to B, and to end the scale, we now have the 4th string open D note. Our count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, holding the D note or a minor 7th for a full 4 beats. Playing our octave scale, we start on the 4th string E to G, 3rd string A to B, using the ring finger for B, and end on the 2nd string, pivoting up to the 3rd fret D note with the index finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving up to our next position, start the E minor pentatonic scale on the 2nd string E to G, 1st string, 5th fret A with the index, 7th fret B with the ring, then move your ring finger up to the 10th fret for the D note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, we'll switch to the 5th string scale position, starting with E on the 7th fret, with the ring finger, of course, to the 4th string notes G with the index on the 5th fret, A with the ring on the 7th, up with the ring to the 9th fret, then switch to the 3rd string 7th fret with the index finger for D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next octave starts on the 3rd string, 9th fret with the middle finger, to the 2nd string 8 with the index, 10 with the ring, up to 12 with the ring, and end on the 1st string 10th fret with the index. We have E, G, A, B, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll wrap the scale up with the highest octave position on the 1st string, 12th fret, to 15, 17, 19, then 22, providing your guitar goes that high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is with the tempo. Now we're going to speed things up a bit. First, we'll be playing eighth notes, which means instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we will divide each count into 2 pulses by inserting the word and, as in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We'll also be playing from root to octave, so our open position will be the 6th string E to G, 5th string A, B, and 4th string D to octave E. The count is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Basically, you're holding the octave E for counts 4 and. Next, we'll play the scale in reverse, starting with the 4th string E, down to D, 5th string B, down to A, to 6th string G, to lower octave E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice I'm now using my middle finger for the G note, which allows my index finger to easily play the 2nd fret notes. Altogether, with the count, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then to the next position, starting on the 4th string, 2nd fret E. Play that up to the 2nd string, 5th fret E, then back to the lower E on the 4th string. Next is the 2nd string, 5th fret E to G. Then on the 1st string, I'll play things a little bit different. To change up the pattern, play the 1st string A with your index, move it up to B on the 7th fret, then stretch your middle finger to play the 10th fret D note, and play the octave E on the 12th fret with your pinky. Then use the same fingers in reverse. To the 5th string, 7th fret E, up to the octave, on the 3rd string, 9th fret, and back. Then the 3rd string, 9th fret, to the octave, and back. And to wrap it up, we're playing just the 1st string notes, 12, 15, 17, 19, 22, and 24. Providing your neck has that many frets. Otherwise, you can bend up to the E pitch. And then you play it descending. Here it is with the tempo. Here, we'll ascend several octaves by connecting the scale positions. This may require altering the fingering from time to time. For the open position, you could use the same fingers. But building off the 4th string notes, when you get E on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, you want to move this index finger up to the 5th fret to play the E so you can flow into this 3rd octave position, where we'll hold the 12th fret E and then we'll descend in pitch. Here with the tempo. When you ascend from the 5th string E, you can play the octave E on the 3rd string with the ring or middle finger, allowing you to smoothly transition to the 2nd string notes up to the octave with the proper fingering. So we'll play this ascending, hold that octave E, and then descend. Another way to practice this scale is to play it ascending and descending without resting on the 12th fret E note. So when you get up to the 1st string, instead of pausing or resting on this high E note, first you'll play the D note, E, then go right back to D and continue with the descent. And of course, you can practice the scale descending first, then ascending. Here it is with the tempo. Now let's look at the octaves above the 12th fret and apply the E minor pentatonic scale. Starting on the 6th string, we have E on 12 to G on 15, 5th string A on 12, B on 14, to the 4th string D on 12, to the octave E on 14. Begin the next octave with the index finger on the 14th fret, 4th string 14, up to G on 17, to 3rd string 14, then 16, index up to 2nd string 15, to end on 17. And for the sake of being complete, the highest octave would start on the 2nd string 17, up to 20, to the 1st string 17, 19, and if your frets go high enough to the 22nd fret, and even higher if you have a 24th fret guitar. or you could bend. Starting on the 5th string, 19th fret E. Next we have the 4th string, 17th fret G, A on 19, up to B on 21, to 3rd string, D on 19, and octave E on 21. For the last octave, you can play your 3rd string 21 to 2nd string 20, 22, 24 if you have it, to the 1st string 22 and 24. The problem is many guitars only have 21 or 22 frets. For example, let's look at this 22 fret Strat. In order to play this high position scale on this guitar, we have to start out on the 3rd string E, 21st fret, then switch to the 2nd string G on the 20th, A on the 22nd, then switch to the 1st string 19th fret for B, up to the 22nd fret for D, then we bend the 22nd fret to achieve the pitch that would achieve the 24th fret for the octave E. Or as I pointed out in the beginner section, we can also play this note using a 24th fret harmonic right above where the imaginary fret wire would be. So far, we've learned to apply the E minor pentatonic scale up and down the neck. You may be wondering where you can use this scale. In other words, what chords or a group of chords you can play over. Each scale note we have learned can be a chord. Our scale notes are E, G, A, B, and D. And as we've learned, the notes repeat with each octave. E, G, A, B, D. So if you wanted to write a song in this key, the chords you would use can be any combination of E, G, A, B, D. Here I'm just using power chords to keep things simple. Power chords are also called 5 chords, such as an E5, G5, A5, B5, and D5. For the E5, play the 6th string open, along with the 5th string's 2nd fret, to strum the 5th and 6th strings together, as we have learned in the beginning section. For G5, play the 6th string 3rd fret with the index finger and the 5th string 5th fret with the ring. A5 is the 5th string open with the 4th string 2nd fret. B5 is the 5th string 2nd fret with your index along with the 4th string 4th fret ring finger. And D5 is the 4th string open with the 3rd string 2nd fret. When you hear someone use the phrase playing in key, that means they are using the same scale that the chords are derived from.